Hey everybody, this is Rustyn Rose with the Examiner Metalholic magazine, and with me, Shaun McCoy of Bobaflex, the West Virginia boys. How are you guys doing?
Awesome, man.
You guys out doing some of the lesser known cities. You were in Wyoming last night. How was that?
Great, man. Gillette was awesome. It was like we got out there and the town was cool and people knew who we were and chanting our name, and we hadn't been there maybe in 7 years. So at first I thought it might have been a Twilight Zone episode. Like, is this real? How did they know this song? So that was good, and Jared's getting married this month, our bass player.
Nice.
To his fiancee, Ashley. So we decided to support radio right before his wedding. We'd do 2 weeks out west and shoot right out, right back. So it's been a little taxing because usually when we go to the West Coast and back, it's usually the same amount of mileage it would take to go around the moon one time.
Oh, great.
6,700 miles for you science buffs out there. Close to that, around 7,000 miles, and usually this one's not quite that bad. We're not doing all the Northwest, but it's been some grueling drives. We're trying to hit as many places as we can, as fast as we can.
Well, and we appreciate that you get all the way out here. It's really hard because we don't get to see enough of the East Coast bands. I was talking with your brother back before Christmas, and we were talking about a lot of that stuff. We were joking about, I said, you guys are like the only band I can think of from West Virginia, and of course he mentioned Karma to Burn and stuff like that. And right after I got off the phone with him, I thought, Steve Whiteman from Kix is from West Virginia.
Yes, he is.
And
blew my fuse, it's true.
Absolutely. He's also the one that taught Lizzie Hale how to sing.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that, but he was her vocal coach for a while.
Wow.
So, along with Don Knotts and Brad Paisley and a bunch of other people.
Oh, yeah.
So, your brother is a huge fan of the River Bottom Nightmare Band.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you in that boat too? Or?
Yeah, I'm a big, they were a big influence on us in our Christmas special. Especially the snake. Because he says they don't brush their teeth. We don't brush our teeth.
That's just not rock and roll.
No.
Now, I asked him, so I'll ask you the same question. What album, song, artist, whoever, first inspired you to want to pick up a guitar, sing, and be in a rock band?
This might sound odd, but basically the first album, probably when I was a kid and I saw the Flash Gordon movie, and the soundtrack was by Queen, and there were some rocking songs other than the Flash song that were on there, and it had a lot of dueling leads.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, I think, believe it or not, I bought the Miami Vice soundtrack, and In the Air Tonight with Phil Collins.
Wow.
Was a big one. And then of course I went into the rock world, and that was lame to like anything poppy at all. I think the first record I got was Metallica, Master of Puppets, and Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction were the first two that I listened to a lot.
Right. He was saying Appetite was his big one, but then he said, but they're not my favorite band. Pink Floyd's his favorite band.
Yep.
How about you? Same? Or?
My favorite band's, wow, it's either, I like Motley Crue a lot, wearing a t-shirt, Guns N' Roses, I like Led Zeppelin, I like Queen, I like Alice in Chains. It depends on the month, Depends what I'm listening to on my iPod.
Now, I just talked to the Atom Smash guys and asked them this question. I was watching one of those Metal Evolution shows, where he does the hierarchy of all the different types of metal, and one of the ones he did was on grunge. And the big question was, does grunge really have a place on the metal hierarchy? Is grunge really part of the metal family?
Yeah.
In your mind it is?
Yeah, it's heavy, and especially Alice in Chains is considered grunge, and they got a lot of just metal riffs that aren't really that grungy sometimes.
Right.
Like Them Bones and things like that. I mean, as far as Pearl Jam, they're more of a rock and roll style grunge band.
Right.
But there were some other ones in there, Mother Love Bone. I think just some of the aesthetic of those bands and the imagery, and I think the drop tuning at the time ended up being heavier than metal for a while.
Right.
No one had ever heard, sludgy, heavy guitars like that.
Absolutely.
Like Soundgarden. I mean, to say they come from the same school as Black Sabbath metal bands do. And Soundgarden, you can hear that all day. So they're definitely a metal influence grunge band.
Right. When Alice in Chains for it, they were actually on that festival with like Megadeth and Slayer.
Yeah.
And they held their own. So.
Stone Temple Pilots actually opened for Megadeth on tour and got booed a lot.
Yeah.
Their first tour with Megadeth fans weren't that into it.
So, well, let's talk about the album for a minute, because I talked to your brother at length about it. The album itself, Hell in My Heart, was a long time coming because a lot of the shit that was going on in the background and everything. It was sort of an apt title because by the time you guys got there, it had to sort of feel like that. A lot of great stuff on the album. As a matter of fact, the lead-off single, you shot the video for it right here, Bury
Yep.
Me With My Guns On.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about coming back here and how you came to actually shoot it here of all places.
It's just folks hit us up here. We said we need a video for it, and we like a cool live video with multiple angles, and they sent it back, and it exceeded our expectations. Not that we thought was going to be bad, but the editing was great, and it's a place where we get played a lot. We didn't want to always do like a hometown thing. We wanted to show that we got crowds everywhere. So and Boise was a good place to do it, and the people were rabid that night, and it all just fell in place. It was perfect, man.
Nice. Well, we're glad that we can at least say we had some part in the history of Bobaflex.
Absolutely.
Now you guys also just released the video for Chemical Valley, right?
Chemical Valley, and that was a single, and it's still getting played in a lot of places, but we're getting ready to do a single called Sound of Silence, which is, you may have heard of it before.
Right.
It's a little ditty by Simon and Garfunkel. So that's getting ready to hit the airwaves. And in fact, I think it's already playing here, and we're kind of guinea pigging it on Boise, and it's doing well. So we're excited about that, man.
How's Jared feeling about that? Because he actually sings on that one.
He's feeling really good, man. He's had to sing it hungover at radio stations at 8 a.m. already. Get his voice in checks. That's freaked him out a little bit, but he's doing good with it, man. Enjoying the spotlight. He always does.
He didn't want to do it at first, is what your brother said.
Yeah, my brother came up with the idea, and I didn't either. I was like, what are we going to do? The Mamas and the Papas next? I mean, all the leaves are brown, or some other 60s kind of leafy hippie song. And then when Marty and Tommy put the music together, and then when I heard it, Jared heard it, said, sure, sounds great. We did it. It became part of the album. Had to go through a little bit of trouble getting it on the record, and with Simon and Garfunkel, we already were going to put it out without it, so we had to stop the presses and throw it on there, man. So it worked out.
Now you guys put a lot of songs on that. A lot of time went into it. It came out, I think, last August. But when I talked to Marty back in December, he was saying you guys are already, because you're doing it, you got your own studio now at home and everything, you guys are already putting the new record together.
Yeah.
And he's hoping to have it out by probably August of this year. Is that still realistic? Or?
We're at least going to try to have it done by then. We're trying to hustle because the music industry's changing.
Well, the world ends in December. So.
That's right. Well, first I heard it was May, and it's December. And that'll go on forever. And they got that show Doomsday Preppers. They're all ready for it.
Crashing the interview, bro.
Well, here's the other motherfucker. I'll get out of the way. You can sit down. He's much better looking than I am.
Oh, that's a...
But yeah, man, we're trying to, the music industry's changing rapidly, so we're trying to get ahead of the game and get product out there, but keep it quality. So we're riding on the road and making sure we put another good record out soon.
Trying to not drink as much.
Yeah. I was telling him you guys got rid of the facial hair going on.
Oh, for the
This
clean
is
cut.
the summer look,
Yeah.
Suit and ties will be next. So now we've got both McCoy brothers from the River Bottom Nightmare Band,
Yeah.
also known as Bobaflex. So we were just talking about your homecoming here from where you shot the Bury Me With My Guns On video and the new Chemical Valley video. And he was just bringing us up to date on when we might see the next album. You were saying maybe August, but now you're talking maybe just having it done by then?
Yeah, something like that. We got a lot of really great songs and can't really wait to get back in the studio and get it going.
Right.
But you never know. Our new single, Sound of Silence, is coming out here real soon. It might blow clear through the roof and we might tour forever on. But we have about halfway done, I'd say, on the new record. And I just can't wait to get back in the studio. It's one of my favorite things to do is record with these guys. And it's going to be awesome.
Okay, now when you and I talked last time, I know Axl and Appetite for Destruction was sort of the record that keyed it for you.
Yes.
So they're being inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Axl said "fuck you" to everybody.
I saw that.
What's your take on that?
He's a strange cat, man. I don't try to understand him. I just listen to him rock. He probably wouldn't be my friend if I knew him. He's probably one of those guys where I can get away from that guy.
The flip side of that is I know you're a Kiss fan because we talked about that. Kiss got dissed again.
Wow, under Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of shit.
It is, isn't it?
No respect.
But Gene got the Golden God Award at the Revolver
I
Golden
missed all
God
that. We were
Award.
driving through the middle of the mountains and didn't get any certain. You couldn't even make a phone call, actually.
And much to your dismay, I'm sure, because I'm sure you guys wanted to get it, the guitarist from Black Veil Brides got Best Guitarist.
He's a good guitar player. Did he really?
Yes, I mean, they're both good. Both of them got it. I mean, they're good guitar players.
They are.
I think Zakk Wylde has probably dropped better trowel than those guys will ever do. But no offense, guys, but
That's the thing.
you know,
Like the Black Veil Brides. I mean, the kids love them. The adults hate them. I think
That's what you want.
Yeah, I think
Well,
it's great.
isn't that how Kiss started and Black Sabbath and all the great bands
I think
that
they're
came?
awesome.
All these disgruntled promoters and sound guys across the. I hate those guys. I'm like, why? Because they're popular and they draw.
And if you're not scaring people, like you said, you're not doing something right. So.
Right.
I think bands need to get back to that and write better songs instead of opuses.
Yeah.
I think there's too many people trying to be too epic and maybe look like a rock band or somebody that a lot of people wouldn't like instead of being so warm and inviting. There's too many like soft radio, not soft radio bands, but non-dangerous, easygoing bands that wear like Affliction shirts and
Right.
look like
it's like I'm so tired of like we're a rock band. It's like, oh, you look like the Merchant Group.
yeah, or the guy that has the weekend band that has a normal job. It's just
Puts on a
like,
headband and
Rock's sort of losing its edge.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
So we need more bands like Black Veil Brides,
I agree.
Bobaflex, and now I was thinking about this the other night. I was sitting there watching TV, and I knew I was going to be seeing you guys. You got all these regional we talked about reality TV last time we talked to you. You got all these regional reality shows, Louisiana, the swamp people, and then they got the hillbilly hand fishing or whatnot. You guys being from West Virginia, if you guys had a reality show, what do you think it might be?
something you wouldn't want to watch. It'd be too vulgar.
The drunken uncle hand fishing. You know what you catch, you know what he caught, right?
Now you guys
I don't know.
They made a reality show about West Virginia. It's called Wrong Turn. It was a movie.
Yeah. The Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
There's another one. That's a good documentary.
That has the women's prison is in our hometown. The Bennigan's that she gets high at, I got kicked out of once. So
Hank III said they were the last of the Southern rebels. I'm like, buddy, you need to come to my town. There's whites, that family type everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're not rare breed. There's a lot of people like that shoot up, run people over, and things like that where we're from. So
yeah.
But I know you guys got to get ready because you guys got in late. You got to try and get some sound checking done. So before we get out of here, you guys spent a ton of time on the road, out now with Adam Smash and Edison. You just finished up with your friends in Royal Bliss.
Absolutely.
And, I'm sure you're going to be right back out on the road again. What the hell do you guys do to keep your sanity out on the road so much of the year?
We do $1 million questions.
yeah, $1 million question. Supervillain's he's a super satellite. He's gonna cut through during the Super Bowl and give you $20 million. But when he cuts through the Super Bowl, everybody's TV will see it. And it's you jacking an old man off for 10 minutes. But you're gonna get $20 million. Everybody even your dad's gonna see it. So think about that one.
Would you do it for 20
3 in the morning, you ask each other these moral questions, or the wizard when a wizard will offer you $5 million for, but you gotta have working gills on your neck for the rest of your life. You can breathe underwater. You get $5 million, but you are going to be a freak of nature to everybody who sees you and knows you. Things like that.
For $20 million, you could buy a whole lot of love.
I've done a lot of things. I've traveled 13 hours for $150. So, for years. So, yeah, $20 million, I'd probably jerk an old man off on national television.
Anyway, Shaun and Marty McCoy.
Sexuality is questioned in these $20 million bets.
Shaun and Marty McCoy of Bobaflex back in Boise again, out on the road as ever. The new album, Hell in My Heart, but soon another one coming, hopefully before the end of the year. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. And we're looking forward to a great show, as always, from you guys tonight.